I think two words are going to define the 2018 election in the next 3 weeks. One is Kavanaugh, and the other is caravan.
Whoa, caravan. Donald Trump woke up this morning, 19 days before the midterms, ready to serve up some red meat for his Republican base by beating the drum on immigration, prompted by video of Honduran migrants making their way north, some on their way to the U.S. Trump today tweeted about the group, quote, including many criminals vowing to cut aid to Honduras if the migrants weren't stopped, even suggesting the U.S. military may close the southern border. And according to the Washington Post, quote, Trump's comments come as he's been urging fellow Republicans to make immigration a central issue in the closing weeks of their midterm election campaigns and blaming Democrats for his inability to pass immigration legislation in the GOP-controlled Congress. Rosie, Stephen, Eugene, they control. I mean, you can blame the Democrats for some things. Not passing laws isn't one of them. Republicans control everything.
Republicans control everything, and the Democrats deserve criticism when they controlled everything for not solving this problem in the first years of the Obama administration. But let's understand what this is. This is a deliberate strategy of incitement. In American politics, our leaders used to go out and try to persuade the American people that their side was perhaps a little bit more correct than the other side. There's never been a genteel period of American politics, but what we're seeing here is something new, particularly from a president. He uses lying at mass rallies to scapegoat minority populations. He alleges conspiracies. He creates a sense of mass victimization and then positions himself as the avenger on behalf of the victims, defending them from the invading horde of migrants coming from the south, approaching the border. This is all BS of the first order. When you see Newt Gingrich up there, one of the most singularly pernicious forces in the history of American politics, a man who more than any other has wrecked the collegiality, the comedy, who began and begat this era of partisan warfare. When you see his smug smirk talking about caravan and Kavanaugh, caravan and Kavanaugh, the caravan, these are vulnerable people fleeing some of the most violence ravaged places on earth. And why do they walk for 2,000 miles? Because of the power of an idea. That idea is this place.
This country.
America.
Yes.
A place where people are free and they are safe. And the idea that when a mother, through suffering, through abuse, through risk, and sometimes death all around them, when they reach the border and they see a uniform with an American flag, and they are no longer safe, but that baby is ripped away and put into an internment camp?
No, please.
This is a moral outrage that harkens to the worst excesses in the history of the country, to the separation of families at the slave auction blocks, to the separation of Native American families. It is a moral
and as Laura
outrage.
Bush said, the Japanese internment camp.
And this is the failure of the Democratic Party to address this as a small issue, not as a profound stain on our national honor, as a profoundly un-American policy, and to frame the question for the country in this vile age of Trumpism. What is it that we are? Who are we as a people?
As a country,
Who
yes. I want to say I love you. I really do. I'd like to move next door to you and have coffee and discuss every single day, because what he says, and who would believe this 2 years ago, that these former GOP head honcho people like you two running campaigns with presidents, and that I would be so comforted by your words. So how does this feel? That's what I want to show on MSNBC.
We both pronounce coffee the same way.
Yeah, I know. Are you from Long Island? Is that
the New Jersey dialect.
There you go. It's very similar to the Long Island. But, you know, it gives me such comfort and hope to hear people who I before described as, you know, not my people, giving me a little bit of hope to think to myself, there are people who still feel this way and believe this way. We're going to right this ship. We are going to right this ship. There's no way that he's going to prevail because he's evil. He's dark. It's the opposite of what America stands for. One light in the darkness. One candle is all it takes.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
What was it like for you? Because we haven't talked about this ever on TV or off. What was it like for you when he won?
It was horrible. I was away by myself in Boston about to shoot a TV show, and I said to my therapist, do you think it's wrong for me to go alone? It's election night, and what if he wins? And she said, you know, Rosie, you've got to stop it. Always the negative tapes in your head. No one's saying he's going to win. You go there and you do your job. I went there, and I actually got physically sick.
Yeah.
I got physically sick that night, and I thought to myself, this cannot be happening, because when he got the nomination, I thought, well, we just got to wait till Election Day. Yeah. That's all I have to do is hold on till then. Mm. And then that he won, you know, it took me a good year to compose myself to be in public again. Mm. I took a year out of the spotlight. And
I'm sure you would have wanted to be proven wrong, but the first thing he did was pass the Muslim ban.
Yes.
The second, he came into office and did all the things that you probably knew about him.
Right. When he was elected, what I wrote on Twitter was, we should impose martial law till we make sure that the Russians weren't involved in the final tallies of the votes.
And Bob Mueller has indicted 13 Russians for election meddling.
And people were like, martial law, what's wrong with you? You're a lunatic.
Well, he wants to send the military to the border, so.
I want to send the military to the White House to get him.
Gene.
Well, I don't think I can top that,
friend.
But it's actually a pretty good idea. It is astonishing that we're living through this era. It really is.
Yes.
And you have to try, I think, to be optimistic that after it ends, we can put the pieces back together somehow.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.